Okay, this is the Let's Talk podcast. I'm one third of your host, Ron Whitaker. I'm joined here today with my brother-in-law and my nephew. Introduce yourselves,
I'm Mark.
I'll be on here. Everybody call me AV.
right? Last podcast we were just talking about how just a safe space for men. Being able to be vulnerable, being able to communicate. Um, just being able to feel like you can be yourself. With that being said, as we all know, I write, I do poetry, um, things of that nature. And I wrote a poem that I felt like it was very relatable to what we were talking about and very relatable to men everywhere. It's really untitled, but I'm just gonna go with it and we'll go around there. It's saying, Dear brother, I see you. I see the weight that you carry that you don't name, the battles you fight that never make it to conversation. I know what it's like to stand in a crowded room and feel like it's just you. No safety net, no soft place to land, no voice saying it's going to be okay. So you become the voice. You stare at the man in the mirror and whisper strength into your own chest. It's going to be okay. Even if you don't believe it. I know nights get long. I know that pride feels stronger than pain. I know sometimes tears fall and you wipe them away like evidence, like nobody can know you break too. We were taught to hold it in, to tough it out, to bleed without flinching. But, brother, silence is heavy, and you don't have to carry it alone. Not this time. And if no one told you, I'm here. Not to judge you, not to fix you, just to stand with you. You can talk to me because strength isn't silence. Strength is speaking. And this is a note to self, the man in the mirror, by yours truly. And that poem, I just wanted to open up as a man to be able to say that we all have problems, that sometimes we have to talk about these things and not bottle them up because bottling them up can cause a disaster. We could overflow on someone that's not deserving. We could just kind of lose it if we have to always have our guards up and not be able to talk to anyone about anything that's going on. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I can't lie, man. I used to bottle my feelings up a lot. Like I still do sometimes.
Hmm.
Cause sometimes I can feel like I'm alone, and I had to learn like it's all right for a man to have feelings or feelings to be hurt. Or it's all right for a man to like just express themselves. Sometimes you do need to let it off your chest because the longer it stay on your chest, the more you get mad, the more you think about it, the more you be like, man, I'm just like you just it be built up anger, so aggression, and sometimes you don't even know what to do. Half of the time, you don't know how to control it or handle it yourself. So sometimes it's good to let it off, and then another thing, sometimes it might be good to keep it to yourself too.
Yeah.
So it's like a 50-50. You can either let it out or you can keep it to yourself because a lot of things men worry about when they vent, and then I 100% know how I feel. Like people be like, "Oh, you need to go get therapy, or you need to talk to somebody," and the man be so scared of it being backlash on them
Hmm.
or somebody throw it in their face, and so they be like, "Man, I should have told you."
Hmm.
You know, that was deep. I mean, you know, when I was listening to this, one thing for sure, and it's one thing for certain, we as men, we hurt.
Yeah,
We hurt. And I think sometimes we don't be heard enough, or I don't think people think we hurt or what we carry every day. Being a black man, I would say it, being a
yeah,
black man, we carry a lot every day. Number one, you being a male. Number two, you being black. And at the end of the day, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders sometimes, and we get misunderstood that sometimes we don't want to say nothing, or if we say something, do somebody hear us? So it's one of them things to where it's funny. It's just funny to the fact that we need to be heard just like women need to be heard. Because at the end of the day, you hurt, I hurt. We hurt together, but hear me out through all of it. Just hear me out and just listen. So that's just the way I feel about it.
Yeah, and I feel like that there has to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to talk to your significant other or to a friend or to someone. You know what I mean? Because if not, then all that that bag up, that that not being heard, that not being able to be vulnerable will cause you to become a person that you don't even recognize. I hear that a lot of times that women they speak as if like that I want a man that communicates. I want a man that shows me his vulnerability. I want this, I want that. A lot of times people don't understand that some of these things are learned behaviors that you just can't just open
Hmm.
up
Right.
to anybody because sometimes you experience that backlash throwing it in your face, that not being able to trust other
Mm.
people. And sometimes it's a process of you getting there with someone. Everybody don't come fixed.
No.
When you go get them toys and those collectibles that your kid and stuff that they want, these cabinets, this furniture, all this, if you don't pay somebody to put it together, you have to make the time to do that yourself. It's a process
Yeah.
of being put
Mm.
together and able to communicate those things that you hide,
Yeah.
that you don't talk about, that don't come up in conversation because everybody's not deserving. Everybody can't relate. And as a man, we can relate to each other that we go through a lot of things.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can talk to people about them. Sometimes we have each other to talk about about it. A lot of times we need to talk to that significant other because that's the person that we in unison with.
Yeah.
That we have to be able to communicate that and each other so that we can understand each other because if we don't, then communication is not understood. It's not going through. It's going in one ear and out the other, and we're not getting greater. We're not getting better, and that's what the ideal is to be better. We have to help. The only way that we can help people is if we're a helped person. You feel me?
Hmm.
Like it says, hurt people hurt people. Healed people heal people.
Exactly.
So that
Mm.
process of healing, that you have to be able to, take that time to make it there with the person. They can't just think that it's given because respect is not even given. Respect is
Hmm.
earned.
Hmm.
So the process has to be earned in order for us to get there, to get from A to B. Those are things that in our growth that we have to get to through a process and not just acting like everything is okay because everything not okay all the time.
No.
And we need to talk and be able to communicate.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it's like sometimes we don't want to take it to our significant others because we don't want it kind of like maybe through in our face. Like,
Mhm.
are you gonna look at me different? Are you gonna say this to make me angry? And then that anger gonna lead to this. And now we at a whole nother atmosphere when let's just talk. I got something to tell you. But, sometimes we just want somebody I don't want you to say nothing. Just listen. Just be quiet and just listen. And after I get through talking, let's just get up and go get something to eat. Just don't make a comment. Just listen. Just give me your ear for a second. And that's all we need sometimes, just a lend an ear. That's it. Just to get stuff off our chest. That's
Um,
just me.
yeah, I believe it too. I completely in agreement with that. And that we need that. I mean, everybody we process different and some people need more time than others, but we all have to respect the process, respect each other's process.
That's
That's
it.
what I believe.
That's crazy. I kind of, I remember one time I was talking to a woman and she was venting to me and she was like, but I had always had a comeback, and when Mark said, sometimes it's just better to listen and not say nothing, it made me like think about that because she was like, every time I vent to you, you always got the answer. And I was looking at it like, and that's why you venting. Like, don't you want
Yeah,
some
that's why you
feedback?
came
Sometimes it is just better to listen and not say nothing and just, listen to what that person's saying. And instead of trying to give them advice, just be like, dang, like, just be a listening ear. And I can't lie, sometimes it is hard to be a listening ear because y'all can both be going through some similar things. And it's not just women, it could be men too. Like your homeboy could be going through something you done went through before and you sitting here trying to tell him how to handle it, but in reality, he might not want you to tell him how to handle it. He might want to
Exactly.
handle it on his own.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So it's probably just better to listen. And I sometimes it is hard to listen, and sometimes you might vent to people and they tell you how to go about things, and you be like, man, I don't want to go about it how you want it, but I want to go about it my way.
That's it.
yeah,
That's And
You
you know, sometimes like I was saying, like sometimes you look at it like if I'm been to you about something and we talking and I want you to listen, but if you start engaging on what I'm talking about, it's gonna be one of those things to where now you telling me your problem. So we both telling each other problems, but who really listening? Because,
yeah, true.
at the end of the day, you telling me yours, I'm telling you mine. Who was here first? Can you just listen to me? Just listen to me, and then this is my conversation today. We'll do you tomorrow. It's
Right.
one of those kind of situations. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Allowing each other to process what's going on in our minds. You know what I mean? Um, I know that men sometimes we fear the being able to be vulnerable because, like you said, will she look at me different? Will they look at me different? But at the same time, women want men who can communicate their feelings. I'm sorry, communicate their feelings. But if I'm communicating my feelings, are you listening? Are you
mhm,
willing to listen and be that lending ear that let me process this all and tell you about how my day went?
exactly.
And then vice versa, do the same thing. We have to allow each other to be able to vent and sometimes not reply, not trying to fix it. Just be there. You know what I mean? A lot of the times you just want somebody there with you,
Exactly.
not to fix you,
Yeah.
not to judge you, but just to stand here with you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You can talk to me. And I know in saying all this, I'm going back into the poem, but you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Just something
Exactly.
relatable that all men I feel like can relate to because, we all go through these problems. We all hesitate to communicate the way we're feeling
Exactly.
because we don't want to be looked at differently. Or I can give you an example. Everybody know I got a lot of nieces and a lot of nephews. But my nieces, we talk to each other, we communicate this, we communicate that. I learned this through my sister. We were having a conversation. Me and Tammy was having a conversation. I think Talia and Taylor was there, and we were opening up. I was being vulnerable to my sister. My nieces had never seen that because they used to Uncle Bo just okay, bet
Mm.
I understand. Okay, whatever this is, I'm gonna find a solution. You know what I'm saying? Get it fixed, or we gonna work on it,
Mm.
or whatever. We don't even think about it. I got it. But this time, I must have opened up, and we was talking, and I might have shed a tear. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It happens sometime.
Yeah.
But my nieces told my sister, she's like, "That's the first time I ever saw my Uncle Bo cry." He human. I know he's human because
Exactly.
that's my uncle, but I never saw those emotions. So I just thought he was like a machine and he just dealt with everything. Now I know I can relate to my uncle Bo because I
Yeah.
see his emotions
Yeah.
and he's showing me that he's human too. And maybe I took too much out of it, but that's what I took from what she said. And it
Yeah.
touched me like that.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to think that I'm unreachable, that I'm unrelatable, that I can't, you know what I'm saying, that I don't feel what you're going through. But as a man, I've been exposed to that vulnerability and then it being thrown back in your face. And it
Yeah.
made you just kind of just hold it all together
Yeah.
and then it happened to spew over at one point or another, and these emotions were saw and they were felt, and they was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, Uncle Bo, he human now.
Yeah.
But it took them for me to show my emotions for them to know that human in a sense.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I think as a man, we try, and we need more of trying to create safe spaces for each other
Yeah.
Yeah.
as friends. This my brother. This my nephew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Any given day, I walk up to my brother and be like, "Say, bro, guess what? This is how today was."
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
nephew, this is what happened. And
Yeah.
I want to create those spaces to where that then my brother be like, "Hey, bro, you know what? Let me holler at you about this. This is what
Yeah.
happened," and know that that's not going nowhere.
Exactly.
And know that I can talk to you about anything. You can talk to me about anything, and it ain't going nowhere
Yeah.
because I'm not judging you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fix
Yeah.
you. I'm here to stand with you,
Yeah.
just to listen to you.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
And you funny you said that about, our nieces. It's just that one, we as men, we want to just be this tough guy. Like sometimes I ain't gonna talk about y'all, talk about me. I don't want nobody to see me cry. Ain't nothing wrong with crying. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you hurt, you hurt. If you don't cry about things that hurt you, I might look at you a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you ain't you ain't that tough to where you can't shed a
Yeah.
tear. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but and it's funny that we had this thing to where sometimes we feel like, nah, that ain't none of me. I can't be sharing no. I can't be soft. I don't want nobody to think I'm soft. It's not about what nobody think.
Yeah.
It's about feelings. It's
Yeah.
like I don't care if you think I'm soft, hard, wherever. It's me. Just
Mhm.
however it come out, it come out. So I just think we have to get away from that tough guy role. Like if I feel like coming up to you and saying, "Man, I had a rough day at work. Let me tell you what happened," and a tear shed, that don't make me soft.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
that's just me expressing myself how I feel to my brother. So it's just one of them things to where we just had to get out of that tough guy role. It's okay. It's okay to be
Yeah.
okay. So
I feel like a lot of men that don't like vent or reach out to other people. With me, it started. I really didn't have a father role model, like a father figure. Like I had a daddy, but it was
Mm.
like kind of iffy. So I just feel like it's just better for me to hold it in.
Mm.
And I held it in for so long to where I couldn't hold it in no more. It had just started showing. Like I think when I got in like the ninth grade out of nowhere, I just got depressed. I didn't know what was wrong at first. I'm like, man, I just get sad out of nowhere, but I really didn't know what was wrong. And then as I started getting older, it started getting worse. And so one day, me and my mom would just sit down. We started talking. And I was like, man, I don't know what's wrong. Like I'm depressed, and I had started a lot of stuff started happening in life. I started losing people that was close to me, and I was close to them, and I just didn't know how to handle it. And so instead of finding ways to handle it or to deal with my depression, I was like missing school, taking breaks from college, sleeping all day, not going nowhere. And then one day I was just like, you know what, I can't. I'm not doing that no more. It's time for me to change. I'm not gonna be the same person that I was a couple years ago. Or I got to be a better me. And then my kids came along, and I was like, yeah, I most definitely got to change now because they're watching me and they look up to me and my little girls, my little boy. It's just like they see me as this big superstar in their eyes. So I got to be the superstar that they look up to. So
Right.
yeah,
that's why I ride bulls. I tend the horses. Like I do things that make me happy.
Right. I
So
too.
I won't think about the pain that I went through or the
exactly.
pain that be taking me through the trouble. Now I ain't gonna say like I don't go through no pain. I do go through pain still, but you will never know because of how I handle it now.
Right.
Like I might vent or I might just be like, oh well, I'm finna go spur this bull down since I'm depressed a little bit and I find different things that help me get through my depression. Like I had started working out, like I done became a gym rat. Like I go to the gym either every day or I go run. I go do something that makes me feel like okay, I'm getting farther ahead in life. I just can't sit around. I start thinking. I was be like, man, if I would have did. Sometimes it's best to think of like stop thinking if I would have and think like I'm gonna do this instead of
Right.
this.
Exactly.
So
I think a lot of mine, I mimic and I watch my dad and my older brothers and my uncles, like on one hand, my dad, you know what I'm saying? I knew he loved me, I knew he loved us, but he wasn't a person who expressed his emotions. My brother wasn't a person who expressed their emotions. And I watched that, and they never said that it wasn't okay to do this or whatever, but that kind of not do as I say, do what I do.
Mhm.
That's more effective. So I watched them. I never saw my dad express emotion. I never saw my older brother express emotion. So in the back of my mind, I just thought this how it was supposed to be. So I didn't express emotions. Whatever came with it, I dealt with it, and that's just what it was. But as I got older, it became like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I'm upset about nothing. I'm mad
Mm.
about nothing. And I found myself acting out. And I was just like, man, this is how it's gonna be. Like you said, the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Mm.
You just felt like that. You felt
Mhm.
so me, I felt so thin.
Mhm.
Like I could be there for everybody. Or I could sit there and I could listen and I could talk and I can just do
Mhm.
this for everybody. But the moment I needed somebody to do it for me, it just that wasn't realistic to me.
Exactly.
And on the other hand, I had an uncle, my mother's brother, he showed emotion. Like he was just big man, he was loving and he let us know he loved us. But at the same time, don't nobody mess with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't nobody mess with my uncle because he loved his family hard. And it don't take nothing. If I call my uncle, it's going down.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you want me to do is call my uncle. Because if I call him,
Yeah.
he ain't asked no questions. It's a fight, and that's it. And as I'm going through life, I'm seeing this. I see my dad, my brother's not showing emotion. Then I got an uncle that show a lot of emotions, but he's just this hard big man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm growing into because these are examples that I see. Like my dad, I love my dad. He was a provider. He loved us, but you know what I mean. I was just like the men in your life. I had a father figure, but I had uncles. I had brothers.
Yeah.
All of those were the men in my life. So I mimicked what I saw them do. Like my brother, they used to call my brother Pit. So I'm a little brother, so I'm Little Pit.
Yeah.
My daddy, they used to tell me, my daddy used to fight with a smile on his face. And I was like, fight with a smile on his face. But I was like, that's my daddy. So hmm, I guess now I fight with a smile on my face because I'm looking at these people and these are my heroes. And these are
Mhm.
this is the way that they acted. So I thought as a man, this is how you act. The last time, I mean, I can remember, I want to say my grandfather died, my mother's dad, Jackie Jean. And the family, we was all in there, and I went in there, I was talking to my papa, and we was praying together, we was doing all that. And somebody that was in the room, they was just like, God don't accept no bedside prayer. And I was like, as a man, I'm like, this is my papa. What are you talking about? But I didn't get mad. I can't
Yeah.
get mad with family. But I was like, I'm expressing myself to my papa, and we praying, we talking to God together, and everybody in there, we praying, and my papa he passed. Everybody was in there, they was in there crying. I ain't crying. I'm just like, I'm in there like, I just talked to papa, like, man, this just happened. So I get ready to walk out the room. I walk out the room, and as soon as I walked around the corner, I collapsed. My legs couldn't take no more. I fell down to my knees and I just cried because I couldn't. It's the moment I got out of the eyesight of everybody else, then it hit me. All my emotions hit me at one time, and I was like, man, what's going on?
Mhm.
Because I everything been bottled up so long. I'm like, what's going on? I don't understand. Like, this
Yeah.
ain't me.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You
yeah.
tougher than that. These are the conversations I'm having in my head. You tougher than that. My mama, she comes around the corner and she put her hand on my shoulder and she said, it's okay. Mom said it's okay. And with that, that's your dad. I know you feeling it, but I'm your child, so I know you feeling it.
Mhm.
Either way, you feeling it. But just that hand on my shoulder telling me that it was gonna be all right was enough strength for me to be able to get up, clean my face, wash my face,
Yeah.
and rejoin the room everybody was in.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just need that.
Yeah. That's funny that, we show emotions in certain kind of ways. Like, our nieces, wives, girlfriends, we see them hurt. It's one of them things to where my thing is I don't want to see them cry. Don't
Yeah,
let me see them cry. If
yeah,
they cry, it's on. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you right now.
Yeah.
And I be telling about my wife, I be like, if I see you cry, that's one thing. And then I remember I was like, man, they usually say, don't tell Uncle Bo. And I say to myself, I be like, yeah, they tell Bo first because I'm too little to go to the pen. I said, I'm too little to go to the pen, so yeah, tell Bo first. And then if Bo needs something, I got you. So I be just like joking, like, man, because I know they crying, it ain't gonna be no talking. So that's one of them emotions where you have to say, take a deep breath, because sometimes you get so angry. And then if I start crying because I'm angry, I don't know. It's over. It's just, I can't say what's going to happen then, because you can't control yourself then. It's like, now I'm mad for real, for real. So,
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, for real.
When you get mad to the point to where you start crying, boy,
that's a different anger there.
man, I told my horse had got sick. I don't know what happened or how he died. Last week, he got sick. He passed away on me. So when he took that last breath, bro, I lost it. I was so hurt. Like, I punched my truck. I threw a dog cage, and I was just hurt.
Yeah.
I was just mad, hurt. I don't even know where all of that came from. Like, I never in my life did that. And I had the horse since I was like 17.
Yeah, that's all.
So when it happened, I started punching everything. I punched my truck, throwing a dog cage. I was just hurt. And my mama came out there and she just gave me a hug, and I just broke down. Like,
Right.
when I feel like when us men go through things, even women too, you could be all right. Like, you'll be all right. It won't bother you. But when somebody just give you a hug or
Yeah.
ask you okay, you gonna break down.
Yeah, sometimes they can do.
You'll break down.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, man, I didn't even know I was this. I didn't even know I was this hurt. I didn't even know I was gonna, But that's just like with funerals. I don't
I
like
was
going
just
to
thinking
funerals.
the same thing.
I don't like going to funerals, and when I do go, I'll be in there. I won't cry, nothing. I just be like, but in some moment, I'm gonna cry. And I know it's coming, so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be like, trying to be on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be, a stand-up guy. Somebody give me a hug. Here we go.
See,
Yeah,
and that's
there we
one
go.
thing about you say a funeral. You could I could be like, I don't care about no shades. I could be like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
The moment I see somebody else cry, it's
Man,
like,
it's
oh, it's
over.
over with. It's over. I'm done. I'm shedding water everywhere. It's like, you crazy. You just crying like a baby now. You sure right. It's gone.
Yeah.
Hey,
be hard.
at funerals, it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but I say this because there used to be a point to where at funerals, they're like, I'm the one that's just like this. Everybody else crying, and I'm just looking around like, ain't awkward. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Yeah.
like that. It's awkward. And the only person that, if I'm at a funeral, if I see them cry, it'll make me cry, and I wipe it up. If I ever see my mama cry or my siblings cry, then that'll give me like, hey,
Yeah, you hit that.
I'm gonna get that. Yeah.
And you know when you hit that, it's over with.
hey, and then on the flip side, if I'm upset and I'm angry, if my sister's upset and they angry, like I try to be the voice of reason, but that's the balance I'm
Yeah.
still working on. Because if any of my sisters is upset and they mad and they say, hey bro, we gonna do this, I'm already in it. I'm already in now.
I don't think there's no way to get out of that.
It's not. It's
At
absolutely no
all.
way to get out of that. A prime example, not going to go into the detail. My sister was upset about something. My baby sister was upset about something. Tammy. We know that Tammy older than me.
Yeah.
She's 2 years older than me, but she's the youngest girl, so I call her my baby sister. I think my other sister might have been mad about something too. And I was like, okay, I'm listening to the conversation. I see what's going on. My older sister that's upset, she not saying nothing. But Tammy Shay, she doing all the texting or whatever, and I said, hey, sissy, whatever you want to do, just let me know. I'm with it. She said, bet. And she hit me in bed. And so I drive over there and I'm like, what's going on? I see my big sister before I see my other sister. And I asked my big sister, what's going on? She was like, oh, no, I'm good. Good. But I know my sister, when she good, when she real good, I mean, she's straight, you can tell. But if she's not good, she kind of short. I'm good. But I'm like, who
Yeah,
didn't
like,
mess with my sister? What's going
yeah.
on? This, that, or whatever. So then I get it from Tom and Shay, what's going on? And then we in the group text. So mama can see the group text. Mama can see it all. And when Tom and Shay said, bro, we finna go do this, I said, bet I'm with it. My mom said, no. She said, no, calm down. We're not gonna do that. We gonna let God take
Yes,
care of
yeah.
it. And I'm like,
Yeah,
The other day
boy.
she said,
that was the
we
God
was
take
in
care
a
of it.
group text and I think Misha said, I'm having a bad day at work. Now Kaylin told Misha she was having a bad day at work. And then I think Bo, you came on there and said, well, I'm having one too. First thing mama said, Bo, keep your hands to yourself. I'm like, my God, if they don't
Man.
know what to say and when to say it.
Man.
I can agree with that. Like how you say you be with it. Bro, me and my brothers, we used to like when we get into it, people will call one another and we with it. Like
Yeah.
I remember it was a couple times I called my brother, he done called me and we could be in the wrong and we still ready to
Yeah,
fight.
that's
It don't even
it.
matter. So
Yeah.
and then like if we in the right, if we not wrong at all, we going 10 times harder. It'd
Yeah.
be
I know
crazy.
I'm right now. So you
Yeah,
feel
it'd be
me?
crazy. So, but you know, I'm glad we changed.
Yeah,
Over
right.
years, we changed,
For the
we
better.
matured more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, for the better.
So now, like, if somebody make me mad, I try to. Well, I ain't gonna say I try to pray. I pray about it,
Yeah.
and I just let it go because I be thinking like, God, this a test. You
Yeah.
trying to see if I'm feeling, huh? So, like for example, I had broke my foot, and so I had to couldn't go to work, and then, you know, from riding bulls or whatever the case may be. So I went back to work when I was feel like I was ready to go back to work. So I walked in there, I gave him my release, my doctor's note said I'm released, I can work again. So they pulled me in the office. I'm like, well, okay, I'm finna see what they gonna say. So the man was sitting there talking, and he was like, well, if you gonna continue to ride bulls, then I'm gonna have to fire you. I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, what? And he was like, yo, we can't afford you getting hurt. Then it make it hard on us. First of all, y'all got over 1 million people here that can do the same thing I'm doing at this job. So that part, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. And see, so he was like, you can either resign or we can fire you. And then what I wanted to say was, you expect me to stop riding bulls, something that gonna help me live my life
Right.
to do a job that I barely like for real?
Yeah.
But instead, I was just like, okay, I ain't arguing with him or nothing. I didn't see no point in arguing with him.
Right.
But I know me back then, oh man, it would have been on and popping.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it was a test from God, and
That's it.
I passed it with flying colors, and I got blessed with another job. So I'm like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
When one door closed, another one open. So
Yeah.
that's how it is. So
Yeah. So with all of that, with that happening to us, the weight of the world being on our shoulders, going through these different ins and outs with family members, different situations and stuff like that, and still being able to show up for yourself.
yeah.
You gotta take on all of these things that we just said
Yeah.
with brothers, sisters, mothers, nieces, nephews, and still have enough for yourself.
Yeah. The tank get empty sometimes.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely get empty sometimes. So that's where we go to God for restoration. Our partners that nurture into us, that we pouring into them, they're pouring into us. You know what I'm saying? So all this come with just being a man,
Yeah.
and still showing up for yourself, still being able to be mature with your feelings. Um, a well-developed man.
That's it.
This is what they want, right?
That's it.
This is what they talk about that they want, but a lot of things that come with an emotional, intelligent man, like once you get to that level where you finding your peace, and in my case, being okay with being alone, there's some criteria that I'm just not gonna go for now in my life. Like, I don't want a woman who nagging. I don't want no woman. I don't want no woman that everything she talk about is negative. It's not solution based. You just want to nag. You want to gossip.
How's that helping me if you nagging?
Exactly. It pulled me down. So that's what I'm saying.
It's
As
not
being,
helping.
yeah, at all. Being an emotional, intelligent man, that, like I said, there are requirements now that some women don't meet. Like, okay, you pretty or whatever, but can you bring positivity into my life? Can you bring peace into my life? Or are you just pretty?
Man, it's
That be
almost to
that I don't mean to cut you off,
Yeah.
but some women think because they pretty, they look good. That's how they gotta do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What are your goals?
Uh,
You want to work at the gas station for the rest of your life? Like, you comfortable? Man, hey, my
you
brother,
cool?
my brother, my older brother, um, he told me, he was like, man, stop looking at girls how they look on the outside. What about the inside? Like, what are their goals? What do they plan on doing in life? How can y'all benefit from each other? If they ain't got no goals, gotta go.
that's it, man.
Because if I got goals, why you can't have none?
That's it.
If I'm trying to make a way out, why you can't make a way out? I'm not saying you can't lean on me, and like, of course, if you my girlfriend or my wife, I'm gonna take you with me to the top. That's the only,
Right.
But if I'm doing all the work and you're not doing nothing, I'll take you with me.
Right.
That's too much pressure. I ain't know.
You're a
I'm not.
liability then. You're not an asset.
That's
And we only like,
man.
as a man, an emotional, intelligent man, I don't have time for liabilities. Only assets. So if you can benefit with me, like the benefit, it's beneficial for us to be together, emotionally, spiritually, naturally, then we can build. But if something off, like you taking away my peace, or you know what I mean, like we're not helping each other, we pulling each other down, then that don't make no sense for us to be together, regardless on how we look or
Yeah,
how physically attracted we are to each other. When the attraction dies, what's left?
exactly.
What's left then?
Because, I just think about, this generation that we in now, I thank God I'm old as I am now. Because, I mean, this generation now, man, if I was your age, man, I'd be like, you have to fill out the application to date me now. I'm serious, man. You got to think about it.
Man.
I want to know. I would want to know. I'm talking everything because before we sit down and even talk, I need to know, of course, where you work. Man, it's almost to the point where you almost want to know who they done slept with them, man, because
Man,
it's
boy.
deadly out here. And then the
Yeah.
No
fact of,
doubt.
before we try to lay down and do something and make kids, oh, wait, we got a lot to talk about because at the end of the day, I need to know everything because an application just like you go fill out at a job.
They
You
wanna
hoping
know
to get the job.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, you fill this application, you hoping to get me. So if you don't meet
Yeah.
the criteria, bye.
Yeah, termination.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quick. Like,
consider another candidate.
yeah, you can go somewhere else. So, this generation, man, I just be looking at these cats at work. I be like, man, the girls is harder than the dudes now. And I'm like, y'all, I'm saying, thank God I'm where I'm at. I'm good. I'm good now. So, it's
Some,
just one of those things now.
yeah. Sometimes you just gotta wait.
Yeah. Wait.
It's patient. And it's this verse I read, Psalms chapter 40, verse 1. I waited patiently and expectantly for the Lord, and he inclined to me and heard my cry. So when he say like he waited, he just waited on God to hear him out. When God heard him out, he moved.
That's
Yeah.
it.
But you gotta be patient. So that woman might not be for you, but it's a woman out here for you.
Exactly.
That person might not be for you, but it's a person out here for you. That job, it held me over, but it might not have just been for me like I thought it was.
That's it.
So I just had to move on. Sometimes you just gotta let go and move on. And I can't lie, letting go is like a hard thing for a lot of people. And I know it's hard for me because sometimes like, I just don't want to let go of that. Then when I do let go, I'm like, dang, why I just didn't let go? And sometimes it could be the memories or the way that person make you feel or how you love that person. But sometimes it's best to let go because you either when you let go, you either finna make it push you to go harder,
Right.
or if you just sit there and try to hold on, it could be drowning. Some women can drown you, not, and to the women, some men can drown a woman.
I think I read something and it was talking about how um, narcissistic men or women, how they uh, how they are attracted to um, peaceful men and women. You know, draining
Mm-hmm.
takers and givers. Like
Mm-hmm.
one is a taker, one is a giver. Um, a narcissistic person will never see their own faults.
Mm-hmm.
They'll always be the victim, always trying to turn it around so that it's always about them and how they want a person who is a giver. Like that negative energy, I guess, is trying to take the positive away. You feel me?
Exactly.
So we have to like finding these balances and like in these relationships and the balance in like meeting people and being with people. Like you were saying earlier, sometimes you want to know who they slept with, who they did this. You be needing to know the families
Yeah.
nowadays. Like I ain't just gonna say nobody's name, but you want to know the family history of these
Exactly.
people. Like take a chance to learn these people that you are laying down with because you know mental illness might be something
Exactly.
in their family, you know,
Yep.
high blood pressure, you know what I'm saying? Just knowing
Exactly.
these traits, the things that you could possibly create if y'all are
Yeah.
together, like, okay, you didn't know she was crazy? Oh, you didn't take the time to know she was crazy,
Yeah.
right? And I can say that from experience, you know, not taking the time to learn someone and then going to a level without knowing them. And then the outcome of that, you know, dealing with a person who that you feel like only wants the worst for you and always thinking of worst case scenarios.
Exactly.
That's draining. But like I said, like we were saying, you have to respect the process when you ask God for something, when you ask God for help and you ask God to order your steps, you have to respect that process. You have to be patient and really put it in God's hands because a lot of times we put things in God's hands and take them right back out when
Exactly.
we're worrying about it. And we
Exactly.
have to respect the process and respect that what we asked, believe, and
Yeah.
He's going to do it in
Yeah.
that process.
And a lot of things battles we try to fight, at the end of the day, these battles, give them to God. They not ours. That's why we mess up so much. We try to go and fix things in relationships and everything. God don't need no tag team partner. He don't
Right.
need nothing. He don't need no
Nah, I don't.
co-signer. God, give it to God, and because I've been guilty of it, giving stuff to God and then going and trying to assist him with it. He don't need no help.
Right.
Just give it to God and say, God, I'm giving this to you today. Take over. Because sometimes God give you an easy way out of everything.
Yep.
You know, like with jobs, relationships. Sometimes we wonder why we can just step out of one job. I remember I left playing college, coaching college basketball. Me and the guy didn't get along. That's just simple. We didn't get along. I drove 1 hour. Before I got home, I had another job. Sometimes God give you an easy way out. So you
Yeah.
just have to see it and like, you know what? Don't worry about it. God
Mm-hmm.
said, God got you. Just do what God wants you to do in relationships and everything, and God got you. But you got to obey God's words and his commandments. That's just it. I mean, ain't no ifs
Yeah.
and buts about it.
Ain't no way around it at
No,
all.
no.
If you ain't got God, you're 9 out of 10. You're going to be by yourself.
Yep.
And it ain't even a
That's
9
it.
out of 10. It's
Yep.
10 out of 10. But another thing I be thinking about when in today's life, like this generation, how how the dating life go.
Mm.
How do y'all feel about a woman or a man being older? Like, let's say, okay, like when I was 20, I was talking to people that was much older than me.
Right, right.
I didn't date around my age group, and I feel like I didn't date around my age group because it's just I didn't feel like we would have connected. Like it was,
Right.
but everybody thinks different. I know some people that's around my age group that they're the same age and they grew together. But I feel like with me, I don't think that'll work.
Yeah, just the maturity level of each
Exactly.
generation.
Yeah.
It's gonna be problems. I mean, my thing is if like if you like say a 16-year-old dating a 21-year-old, okay, that's what 16. That's about what 7 years apart.
Yeah.
That look bad then because you
Yeah.
grown, but when you 37, she 30. So now it ain't so bad. Now it's all about the maturity, but you don't want nobody too old because
No.
I mean, you're gonna get to a point to where
They might be ready to settle down and you not.
exactly,
Yeah.
or they might be to the point to where it's one of those things where you know what they can do certain things and you can't do certain things. So I wouldn't be a fan favorite of that. That's just
Yeah.
me. I would be like, nah, don't do that.
Uh,
I mean, stick
yeah.
around. Me, don't go too far off. But
Like balance it.
yeah, try to balance it. But it's all
Yeah.
gonna come to maturity.
Yeah.
Because some people that's young are much more mature than the older person.
Yeah.
You got to just balance
Thank
it.
you.
That's just me.
So, with all the things that we've talked about, talking about the male perspective, the thought process that we go through as being in a relationship, as going through every day, um, the you right now, if you could talk to your younger self and tell your younger self something, like I'm 40, finna be 44 here. If I could talk to the 18-year-old me, I would tell the 18-year-old me it's gonna be all right. Be patient, be calm, stop stop rushing things. Stop trying to you stop trying to fix stuff. The relationship that you was taught about God, the relationships that you've seen father, mother, grandfather, grandpa, take everything in and just, learn from it. Everything is a lesson. It's either a lesson or it's a blessing. Just take your time. Don't try to get to 40, don't try to get to 44 too fast. Respect
For
that journey.
sure.
Respect that journey. Don't let anybody, overly influence you. Take your time. That's what I would tell the 18-year-old me.
I would tell the 18-year-old me, man, God, I was a late bloomer anyway and everything. I was just
Yeah.
late on everything. I never did drink, smoke, didn't never do none of that. But I would tell the 18-year-old myself, just keep it basic. Don't try to tend to be something you're not. You know, be who you are. Say whatever you say, be about that. My dad always told me, if you're not a man by 25, it's pretty much a done deal. That's just the rule he had. If you're not,
Yeah.
if you
Mhm.
25 and you still searching, party pretty much over. So my whole thing is just, I'm like you, be patient and treat people like you want to be treated. That's the first thing. If you want to be obnoxious, rude, don't care, that's what you're gonna get. So
Mhm.
that's just me. Just be patient too. Be patient.
Oh man, the things I know now, I wish I would have known back then.
Mhm.
So what I tell the 18-year-old me is like you said, be patient, slow down, get a grip on life, stop running the streets so much. Man, when I
Yeah.
was 18, I was in dang near every part of Texas. like I was just out there, like I was just running the streets, wasn't really focused on what I'm gonna do after school or what's gonna come next. I was just living life, partying and just doing everything. So I was like, man, slow down. Just realize, just get an understanding of what you're gonna do. Instead of taking the trouble route, take a different route. I used to get in
Exactly.
trouble a lot. And not too long ago, I asked my mom, I said, do you think me getting in trouble all the time hindered me? And she was like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it did. And I now sometimes I do see where it hindered me at, but I'm better now. But back then, I always say, if I knew what I knew now back then, I'd be a cold piece.
I don't.
But I feel like I had to go through what I went through to get to where I'm at
That's
today.
it.
Yeah.
So I tell, like, that's to the younger generation, man. It's so do y'all see like it's so many killers? When I was coming up, we didn't have no gun. We didn't none of that. We gonna put these bikes down. We gonna fight, and we'll be
That's
back
it.
cool. I wish it can go back to that, but I'm not gonna say I regret anything that I went through or anything that I did. But I just be like, just slow down. That's all I can say. Just slow down, get a grip on life.
That's it.
So, uh, so with that being said, hey, we are the. This is the Let's Talk podcast. I am 1/3 members of the Let's Talk podcast. I'm Ron Whitaker. This is my brother. This is my nephew. We trying to grow over here, y'all. Give us y'all opinions. Subscribe and just let us know. Y'all be easy.
Peace.